Raise Nation. We're broadcasting live from San Antonio, Texas for the 9th annual Raise Conference. I'm Dawn Lego with OneCause, and we are turning up the volume on fundraising, innovation, and inspiration, straight from the Riverwalk to the airwaves. And riding shotgun with me is my fantastic co-host, Kevin Spikerman with Auction Packages.
Thanks, Dawn. The energy here is electric. Thousands of change makers, bold strategies sparking, and fundraising strategies that will shape the future. Over the next 2 days, we'll bring the stories, the breakthroughs, and maybe even a little Texas-sized fun. Turn it up.
It's Raise Nation Radio.
Welcome back to Raise. We are sitting here with Colleen Carroll from Double the Donation. Colleen, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
We are excited to talk to you, excited to talk about Double the Donation. But first, let's talk about Raise. This is your first year at Raise, correct?
It is, and I'm having a fabulous time. You guys know how to throw a party.
Well, I know you're having a fabulous time because what were you wearing last night on your head?
I don't know. At some point, someone gave me a flower crown. I complimented them on the flower crown, and then they gave us flower crowns. And then I was like, okay. And then we walked to the Alamo. So we had a great adventure last night.
That was awesome. And I captured a picture.
You did.
So you can never deny the flower crown.
I would never deny a flower crown.
You and Amelia looked fantastic. How's your Raise experience so far?
It's been wonderful. People here are so nice, ready to talk about fundraising, ready to get excited. So it's been a fabulous experience.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Tell us about Double the Donation. Are we really saying a doubled donation? How does that happen? It sounds like magic.
I know, it is a little bit of magic.
Okay, good. I thought so.
So we are a workplace fundraising and employer matching gift automation software. Essentially, companies have these really cool programs where they will match the donations of their employees to eligible nonprofits, which is most nonprofits out there, as well as their volunteer hours with volunteer grants, payroll giving, all of that sort of good stuff. The thing with those programs is they all require the donor or the employee taking action. They have to fill out the paperwork. They have to remember to log their hours. They have to remember to submit the form.
Yeah, not happening.
Not happening. People get busy. They're not thinking about fundraising and our missions as much as we are. So the way Double the Donations tool helps is to give nonprofits the ability to market these programs to their supporters. So reminding them that these programs exist and giving them the information of what they need to do. So instead of saying, go to HR and ask them what you're supposed to do to get your gift matched, we have the information of 24,000 plus companies. So
whoa. 24,000?
24,000 plus companies.
There's 24,000 plus companies out there matching donation gifts.
Yes.
Okay, that's a lot of data and forms and things to keep track of.
It's something like 10% of the U.S. workforce is eligible for an employer matching gift.
So it would be a lot for a nonprofit to do it. Light bulb moment.
Yeah.
Double the Donation does it for you.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we'll have that information that we can give your donor being like, hey, this is, for instance, Home Depot's program. This is the minimum. This is the maximum. And here's the link to the form that you have to fill out. You don't have to hunt for it. You don't have to find it.
But what
it's
if
here.
it changes? Don't things constantly like
yeah.
this? Oh, yeah,
that's our database team. And from my perspective, they're magic. What they're doing, keeping track of those programs. Yep.
Okay.
It is. Yep. So that's a little bit about us. There's always more to say. I could talk about employer matching gifts for hours, but
let's talk about
start
the
with
impact.
That.
Let's talk about the impact to a nonprofit. How does it change their impact revenue?
Absolutely. I mean, it's doubling donations. Again, it's taking advantage of what you already have. You've worked so hard to get that donation. It is in the door. They care about your mission. They've given you their credit card information. They care about you, but they can do more without having to open their wallet again. They can submit this paperwork and their gift is doubled. And that has a huge impact on your organization.
Huge.
I'll also say that we know that $4 to $7 billion worth of employer matching gifts never get accessed. So their companies have these programs and no one gets them.
I need that number again. What was that?
$4 to $7 billion.
Oh my goodness.
That is out there for nonprofits and no one is getting.
So what happens to it?
That is a really great question. It's often just sitting there in those programs. I have a little bit of a concern that if we don't access those funds, companies are going to stop allocating the funds. And so I see it as this really big group project as nonprofits all together to access them so that these companies only grow the programs instead of diminish the programs.
But I have one thing to say about Double the Donation. I like what you do. I have a little inside information.
You do?
I think this is important for our community to hear that you give the tools, you stay up to date with the database, but you do take it one step further in that you aren't, there's some education involved with donors. And nonprofits don't really have the time for that. But you help them there so that they can communicate and engage and motivate their donors. And you provide all those tools as well. I think that's important to talk about. So can you share some of what you do there?
Yeah, so it really is an awareness game. Like the reason why we're not accessing those dollars is because donors don't remember that they're eligible. They're told about it in their maybe like employee onboarding, it's in their handbook, but no one really looks at that.
But at the time of the
first
donation,
week.
3 years later, it's out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly. So our tools, we have some automated emails that can go out reminding people. We also have a lot of templates that we encourage encourage our clients to use to post about it on social media and include in your newsletters and include in those reminders, because people like these programs. People see it as a benefit, but they don't remember they exist.
But they also see that nonprofit as a good steward of the mission.
Yes.
Because
they're trying to do the absolute most to push themselves forward.
I'm just stuck at payroll donations. I mean, like, that is such an impactful way, right? Because it's like donations are coming in yearly or once a year, or but I don't know, payroll donation. I'm stuck there, just like that is genius.
It is.
To be able
It's
to tap into
amazing.
that.
It's a little bit like monthly giving, where you have this expectation that you know the money is going to be coming, and it's a little bit of a set it and forget it model for your donor. The other really cool thing about payroll giving is often if the company does have a company match, it will automatically match payroll giving. So we don't have to do the whole rigmarole of reminding the donors to get their gift matched, because the payroll gifts are automatically matched through their CSR platform.
So is that also a form, or a yearly form, or what does that look like?
It can depend from company to company. Often they will have their payroll giving software or their payroll software that they're using that will have a capability to essentially check a box being like, I would like a certain percentage or a certain amount of my paycheck to go to a nonprofit.
Yeah. And so what I love about Double the Donation is you also integrate. So it could be seamless in so many ways. And we're fortunate enough that you do integrate with the OneCause peer-to-peer platform. So it really is a turning on of the button. Can you speak to how simple we've made it for nonprofits?
Oh my goodness, so easy. So we have so many nonprofits who have taken advantage of this integration, and it really is turning it on, like making sure everything's set, and then it's done, and then it's done, and then it's working, and it's all going together so smoothly and seamlessly. So it is really fun when that works out.
I think the donor just appreciates it. I know if I can give $100 and it can be $200 without really touching my wallet, it would make me feel good about it.
Or you don't have to think about it, right?
Yes,
Without
I don't have to
payroll,
think about it,
I mean,
sure.
when you set it up, okay, I want that to go out. And so many times you forget, right? And it's like, oh, I forgot. But this way it's automatic. And I think you guys have done a great job of just being innovative and bringing something new to the industry.
Thank you. Yeah, I really do think it's in everyone's best interest. Again, these companies have these programs. They want the money to get out there to the nonprofit communities. That's why they've created them. The nonprofits obviously benefit from the funds. But as you say, the donors, they've already donated to you. They care about your mission. This is a way they can
You've already done the hard work.
Exactly. You've done the hard work. And so I always kind of imagine someone who's like, oh, I was going to give $20, but then I remember I had my match, so I gave $50. And now I know that I've really given $100, and I get to go about my day feeling fabulous because I've made such a difference to a mission I care about.
Love that. And if I was a nonprofit wanting to get in touch with you, like, how hard is the onboarding and how quickly is it to get set up?
That is a fantastic question.
Yes. I want to know.
Oh, I'm so glad. So if you want to get in touch with us, go to doublethedonation.com. And you can schedule a demo. Once you are ready to push forward, you have an onboarding specialist from our team. It is a matter of hours. And so it's kind of like whatever you're ready, if we can
give up
schedule it
hours
tomorrow,
for doubling my donation.
Exactly. If we can schedule the meeting tomorrow, if you have availability, you can get set up and have it rolling from that point on forward. So
seems like a no-brainer. I mean, it seems like everybody should be setting up the demo to get set up and let that roll.
That's what I think, but I am, of course, a little bit biased.
Well, I'll say it for you. Everybody should go and sign up. Yes.
And I'll echo that.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So
do you guys
great.
want my job? You're welcome to have it.
I think you'll stay there. I'll stay in this seat.
Perfect.
But to wrap this up, what is one thing that you would like the community here at Raise to take home with them when they go back to their offices in a couple of hours now.
I know, we're getting to the end. I think what I would want people to take away is that employer matches are out there and you don't have to wait for them. I feel like that's a big thing that people are like, oh, they come in when they come in, but you have something that you can do as a nonprofit to increase the dollars that you're seeing. And often it can be little tiny changes. So I've talked about the double the donation tool, but we also have a ton of webinars where we walk through some other little strategies you can put in place that's going to increase the dollars in the door, which is of course what we're always looking for.
And we're so excited when you join us on our webinar programming. We'd love to host your content. It's just a wealth. You heard it here from Colleen. Please double your donation. Why wouldn't you? We hope you do. Easy as turning on a light switch if you're a OneCause user, but obviously the onboarding is super easy if you're not. So please, let's double those donations.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you all
More
so
Raise
much.
coverage coming soon.
Hey everybody, Trevor Nelson with HGA Fundraising, tuning in with another live episode from the Raise broadcast studio at Raise 2025. And I'm joined by our MC for the entire event.
What up?
Yeah, Mr. Reggie Rivers. Good to have you, brother.
Hey,
Thank you so much
Trevor.
for coming.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate it. Nice to be here.
So you're MCing the whole gig. So you've been busy. I haven't seen you.
Yes, sir.
So we're meeting here for the first time.
Right.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Not your first raise.
No, it's not. I've been doing stuff for a long time. I'm the president of the Gala team.
Yeah, I wanted you to introduce yourself. Absolutely.
In Denver.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Yeah.
so we help our nonprofit partners raise money through live auction and paddle raisers.
Yeah.
And so I think this is my 5th year emceeing the Raise conference, and I love it. It's a great time to be around all of your peers who know what fundraising is about. Because if you go to your regular barbecue and somebody says, "Hey, what do you do?" and you say, "Oh, I'm a development director for a nonprofit," they're like,
Okay,
what's that?
Carrying on.
Yeah. And then when you explain to them further, you say, well, I help nonprofits raise money.
Yeah.
And they say, oh, well, you know what? That's great. We just did a church fundraiser and we had a bake sale and we raised $500.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, they don't understand the scope and scale of what a development director has to deal with. They don't understand the repeatedness of it, like this repetitive process. They're not hosting fundraisers, they are fundraisers.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to come here to a place like this where you're just surrounded by your peers. They understand what you do, they understand the challenges, the exhilaration of when it works.
Yeah.
And so I've really enjoyed this conference.
Yeah, well said, because it's the only conference of this magnitude that serves that many event fundraisers at one time, and everyone is pulling in the same direction. Right. This has been a really, really, really good year for Raise. Every one of them that I've been to has been amazing, but it just seems like everyone's pulling in the same direction.
Yeah.
Very like-minded, right?
Yeah, very, very much so. And I think anytime there's headwinds, you really do, then everybody is really pulling the same direction because they're facing the same uncertainty about, is the funding going to continue? There's the same uncertainty about what's going to happen with the economy, about how big their staffs are, how big the need for support is going to be. And so I think we saw this during COVID, where, here's a major disruption that causes everybody to start pulling in the same direction. So I think we're seeing that again now.
Totally. Really, really cool. Really cool. There is this kind of a place for everyone to come. And once again, the brightest minds in fundraising, some of them, there's some that aren't here, of course, but the speaking, the attendees, the experience of so many folks in attendance is amazing. Education's amazing. You're delivering a session here in a few minutes. Tell the audience about what you're talking about.
It will be. I'm going to be talking about paddle raisers, also known as a fund a need or a special appeal or an ask. But it's just this moment in an event where you ask people to just raise your paddle if you want to donate some money. Who's willing to donate $10,000? Raise your paddle. You read off their number. They've committed $10,000. Well, that's terrifying for a lot of nonprofits because they're just like, we don't think our people will raise their paddles. We think it's too much pressure to put on them, just all of that. And my answer is nope.
Yeah. Short answer.
Yeah. There's almost 8 billion people on the planet. You've got 500 of them in your room. You know what they did? They put your event on their calendar. They made plans they went shopping for what they're going to wear. They got their hair done. They've got, they got themselves ready. They got a babysitter. They walk through the door of your event for a reason. And if you don't ask them for their support, then you're kind of doing them a disservice. You're not giving them the opportunity. So in my talk, I'm going to be giving 30 plus simple tips on how to improve the paddle raiser. And it's all very simple stuff. It's not, you don't have to change the world and say, well, I got to find a way to get billionaires into my audience to raise money. It's like, no, you don't. You just need to have your paddle numbers be in one of these fonts.
Yeah.
Because every other font is too difficult to read and it impairs your ability. So it's like really simple things like that.
Actionable stuff, though.
Yes.
That's the kind of stuff you get at these kinds of conferences. I'm glad you're doing that. Rapid fire question. Paddle raise before or after the live auction, sir?
Well, mostly after, but yes, occasionally. Occasionally, yes, move it forward.
Rapid fire questions, sir. Yeah. No, it's going to be good. I can't wait to watch the recording. I'll be here, but I wish you all the best in it. I know it'll go great. Appreciate you stopping by. Will you do me a favor? Tell the audience where they can find you. If they have any questions about the paddle raise or anything fundraising, reach out, show you some love. Where's the best place to find you?
Yes, I am Reggie Rivers. You can find me at thegalateam.com. We're very easy to find. And I'm curious about you, Trevor.
Okay.
What's your background? You strike me as some kind of athlete back in the day.
I dropped out of college and ran ultra marathons. Not a very prolific career. But hey, it takes one to know one, sir, because I know that you're an athlete as well. So
Yes. I'm former Denver Bronco. But as soon as I walked up here, I was thinking, I don't know, skateboarder or
you're funny.
snowboarder or serious something.
Awesome. That's
so
awesome.
ultra marathoner makes sense.
I did ultra marathons for a number of years, a lifetime ago, and did a triathlon as well, full time, and then just did one last weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a lot going on. Didn't have as many kids then and stuff like that, right? But I still get in there and mix it up a little bit.
What distance on the tri?
The one I did last weekend was like a sprint, just in and out, but like cardiac arrest. You know what I mean? It was it was hot.
Gotcha. Yeah,
but it was good.
Well, I'm 57
I'm flattered.
now.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
I walk and run at the park.
Yeah.
And I lost the ability to run, the mechanism of running my whole life. And now it's like, oh man, my ankles, my knees, everything.
Yeah. Well, you ran a lot. Probably you ran through people too.
That's right. That's right. Through them.
It's good to meet you.
You too, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. That's a wrap with Reggie from the Raise Broadcast Studio 2025. We'll see you all on the next episode.
Ready to take your fundraising to the next level? Need to get unstuck in your event planning? Now's your chance to connect directly with the experts behind the Fundraising Elevator. Book a one-on-one consulting session with Sam for strategic planning and fundraising strategy, with Kristen for your program and storytelling, or Mary for your registration and data tools. They're here to provide you personalized answers to all your event questions. Don't wait. Raise more at your next fundraising event. Book your session today at elevatenonprofit.com. You can also find the link in the show notes.
Susan Kramer, welcome to Raise Conference.
Thank you.
We are so excited to have you here at Raise Nation Radio and on the Fundraising Elevator podcast. You are a fundraising consultant. I want to ask you first just to introduce yourself a little bit and tell us about your specialty. What do you work in?
So I have a 30-year career in the nonprofit sector, and about 7 years ago, I decided what I regret not doing at the end of my life, and it was launch my own consultancy. So as I entered year 7, I look at what it is that's working, and the clients I work with, I coach, mentor, and train development professionals. And when we work together, it's usually weekly. I'm their coach, taskmaster. I always say that expert athletes are not on the field without coaches.
Yes.
So I coach the athletes to be their best selves.
Amazing.
And they get results.
Yeah.
I also help start up nonprofits. There's ideation. We want to be a nonprofit, and I have my 501c3, but I'm not really sure how to start. I get a lot of that. How do we start?
Yeah.
Where do I raise money? Where do I find money? And then I unpack revenue streams and understand which revenue streams are working and which we should lean into a little bit more and which maybe we need to not deal with because they're not producing the kind of revenue. And I'm always data driven. So one of the differentiators for my team is data and data driven results so that it's not all intuition. It's also data.
Real information. Well, you're here to talk a lot about major donor work. In your session, you're going to be teaching about major donor work. I think it's so important right now as we're seeing the loss of federal funding. Organizations are changing how they fundraise. What do you think right now nonprofits need to be focusing in on to increase their major donor support?
That their major donors already exist in their database.
Yes.
It's like you have a donor base and you have a database. And most nonprofits always focus on the donor base. Who are our donors? What are our donors giving? And I know nonprofits with 1,000 donors, but 6,000 people in their database.
Yes.
And they're never dealing with the 5,000 other people that are there because they're not donors. So that's when we apply data, or simple. It doesn't have to be like some advanced search engine. Just do a sort by zip code and pull your high-end zip codes out of your database, and then start identifying who are those people that live in your city's high-end zip codes that are already in your database. So what I think nonprofits need to know about major gift fundraising is your next major donor is hiding in plain sight.
I love that.
And they're
It's
there.
true. Yeah.
You do not need to walk around your city and take pictures of every building with every name,
Yeah.
because I also like to say rich does not equal giving to you. So it's
Right.
very nice that they're wealthy, but it does not equal giving to you. So if they're already involved or already have, their name on your list, that's the place to start.
Yeah. Well, the cost of onboarding and cultivating a new donor to you is so much more expensive than bringing along the donor base that you already have, or the database, activating the database you already have. So I love that you give really practical advice for organizations of where to even start and how to move that needle, because I think it's needed so much right now.
Can I give you a story?
Yes, please do.
So I have a client who did a mail appeal.
Uh-huh.
Great. A mail appeal or
Yeah.
peer-to-peer fundraising, crowdfunding campaigns. Okay, they're great. I think they're fishing expeditions.
Sure. Yeah.
So it was a mail appeal, and somebody gave $36. Okay. And I said, well, let's sort by zip code, high-end zip code.
Yeah.
So we do the sort, and we find the people on the high-end zip code, and this donor at $36. I said, all right, now let's Google him. Let's Google the guy and see. So he has a class action lawsuit, and he has recovered billions of dollars for his clients. Now, let's talk about that. We found on Google that he has a business that generates billions of dollars in claims, which means $36 is like pocket change.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you need to call this guy.
Yeah.
And kind of like begin to try to figure out how to make him your best friend and ask him why he gave to the campaign to begin with. So that's just like one tiny example of it's right in front of you. You just have to unpack it.
Yeah. Well, so I'm interested to know if you think there's a myth in the sector right now that you could bust about fundraising.
Myth busting. Yes.
Okay.
There is abundance in the world.
There is. I love that.
Absolute abundance.
There is enough.
There's always enough.
Yeah.
And people never got poor from giving.
Right.
And generous people are generous people.
Yes.
And if you are in relationship with the donor, they will let you know when they're at capacity. They'll let you know. But if your gift is a transactional gift and you don't know the donor well, you'll never know if your gift is a capacity gift. And many times I've excavated $1,000 donors who are giving six figures other places, but my client doesn't know the capacity.
Yeah.
Because they're not in conversation.
Such a beautiful and brilliant advice. I couldn't agree more.
Ask them.
Thank you.
Ask them.
Well, thank you for joining us here at Raise Nation Radio.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for joining us on the fundraising elevator, where we're all headed up.
In the world of nonprofit fundraising, every moment counts. You're dedicated to your mission, but are outdated tools holding you back? OneCause is here to help streamline your efforts, elevate your donors' experience, and boost your fundraising results, all in one easy-to-use platform for events, auctions, peer-to-peer, and online giving. With our integrated tools, AI-driven innovation, and our award-winning support, get ready to save time and raise more for your mission with OneCause.